Hello and welcome to Idea TV Midday News. I am Cynthia Bassi. We begin with the headlines. EFCC blames internet fraud for stricter visa rules against Nigerians. Zambia launches nationwide campaign to tackle digital fraud. Airpeace creates 1,000 jobs for graduates following FG levy suspension. And away from Africa, Ben and Jerry's co-founder resigns amid row over social activism. In health, NCDC raises alarm over rising LASSA fever deaths. In business, DANGOTE refinery exports first petrol cargo to the United States. And in sports, Martinelli and TROSSARD lift Arsenal to Champions League win. Now the news in full. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says the growing rate of internet fraud, popularly known as Yahoo Yahoo, is contributing to stricter visa restrictions for innocent Nigerians seeking to travel abroad. EFCC Chairman Ola Olukoyede, represented by Chief Superintendent Koka Oyegunle, made the remark at a youth event in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. He said crimes like cyber fraud, money laundering and economic sabotage are not only damaging Nigeria's economy, but also tarnishing its global reputation. According to him, these illegal activities cost the country billions of naira annually and hinder national development by depriving citizens of jobs and infrastructure. He warned young people to avoid fraudulent shortcuts, stressing that fraud is not success, but a trap that leads to loss of freedom and future. The EFCC boss encouraged Nigerian youths to focus on innovation, entrepreneurship, and agriculture instead. He also reaffirmed the agency's commitment to public sensitization and law enforcement across the country. Other security agencies present, including the NDLEA and NCDC, warned against drug abuse and pipeline vandalism, calling them major threats to youth and national security. Meanwhile, the EFCC has continued to clamp down on cybercrime, with recent arrests and convictions recorded in Lagos and Benin. Moving on, Zambia has rolled out a nationwide joint fraud awareness campaign in response to an alarming rise in digital fraud, which has affected nearly 80% of the population over the past year. Mobile money scams alone have resulted in losses exceeding $120 million annually. The campaign themed "Be Fraud Smart, Protect Your Money, Protect Your Identity" brings together key players including government agencies, telecom operators like MTN, Zamtel, Airtel and Z Mobile, as well as financial institutions such as the Bank of Zambia and ZICTA. The initiative aims to rebuild consumer trust as the country's economy continues its shift toward digital platforms. Legal and technological frameworks are being strengthened under the campaign. The Cybersecurity and Cybercrimes Act lays the legislative foundation, while advanced tools such as AI-driven fraud detection systems, real-time transactions monitoring, and biometric verification are being introduced to fight threats like identity theft and SIM swap fraud. Public awareness is central to the campaign, with information being disseminated through multiple channels including radio, roadshows, social media, and SMS alerts in local languages. The successful 707 Ash reporting system, which has saved over 21 million Kenyans this year, is also being expanded. Looking ahead, the government has outlined 5 strategic pillars to ensure a sustainable response, establishing a nationwide fraud intelligence task force, launching a digital trust index, introducing a cyber hygiene curriculum in schools, upgrading the *70* system into a full victim support portal, and developing a fraud risk dashboard for real-time threat monitoring. Officials emphasize that this campaign marks the beginning of a long-term commitment to securing Zambia's digital economy and enhancing public trust in digital financial systems. In other news, Nigeria's largest airline, Airpeace, has announced plans to recruit 1,000 fresh graduates through its 2025-2026 graduate trainee program. The company says the move is a direct response to the federal government's recent suspension of the controversial 4% free on board FOB level on imported goods. Speaking through a statement on Wednesday, Airpeace Chairman Allen Onyema praised President Bola Tinubu and Finance Minister Wale Edun for what he called responsive leadership in addressing industry concerns. Onyema said the level would have crippled the aviation sector, but with its removal, the airline is giving back by creating jobs and building a pipeline of future aviation professionals. The graduate trainee program, according to the airline, is open to Nigerians aged 30 and below with at least a second-class lower degree and an NYSC discharge or exemption. Onyema added that with more supportive policies from the government, thousands of additional jobs could be created in aviation. Applications closes on the 30th of September this year. We'll go on a quick break now. The news continues when we return.
Internet of Things, IoT. The Internet of Things, IoT, is all about creating a connected network of physical devices, from smart refrigerators to industrial sensors that collect and exchange data. IoT applications are driving efficiency in industries like healthcare, manufacturing, and transportation, but security vulnerabilities are a growing issue. With more devices getting connected, cyber attacks targeting IoT systems have surged. Despite these challenges, the IoT market is forecasted to reach $1.6 trillion by 2025, making it a pivotal technology in smart homes, cities, and industrial processes.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is the Idea TV Midday News. Now the rest of the news continues. Away from Africa, one of the co-founders of Ben & Jerry's, Jerry Greenfield, has officially stepped down from the ice cream company, citing a growing rift with parent company Unilever over social and political activism. Greenfield made the announcement in a public letter shared by fellow co-founder Ben Cohen, stating that the company had been silenced by Unilever, violating its long-standing commitment to social justice. The dispute dates back to 2021 when Ben & Jerry's halted sales in Israeli settlements, a move that triggered global controversy and corporate backlash. Greenfield said his decision to resign was one of the most painful in his life but necessary, as he could no longer support what he called the betrayal of the company's core mission. Unilever, however, disagreed with his stance, insisting it has been in dialogue with both founders to preserve the brand's values. Ben & Jerry's, founded in 1978, has been known for its outspoken support on issues like climate change, racial justice, and LGBTQ rights. But tensions have escalated in recent years, including legal actions over Unilever's alleged interference and the removal of the company's CEO. In May, Ben Cohen was also arrested during a pro-Palestinian protest in Washington, adding another layer to the ongoing battle over corporate activism and free speech. In health, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention has expressed concern over the rising fatality rate of Lassa fever, despite recording fewer suspected and confirmed cases in 2025 compared to last year. In its latest update, the agency reported 162 deaths across 21 states as of epidemiological week 35, which covers August 25th to 31st. 10 new infections were also confirmed in Edo, Ondo, Bauchi, and Taraba states during the period. Cumulative figures for this year show 7,375 suspected cases and 871 confirmed infections, with a case fatality rate of 18.6%, higher than the 17.1% recorded within the same period in 2024. Ondo, Bauchi, Edo, Taraba, and Ebonyi states accounts for 91% of the outbreak, with most patients falling between the ages of 21 and 30. Although no new health worker cases were recorded in the last week, 23 have been infected since January. The NCDC blamed the high fatality rate on late hospital presentation, poor health-seeking behavior due to treatment costs and inadequate sanitation. To curb the spread, it has deployed rapid response teams, scaled up surveillance and distributed ribavirin, protective gear and sanitizers. The center also announced plans for a 5-year strategic plan to tackle Lassa fever and urged residents, especially in high-risk states, to maintain hygiene, control rodents and seek early medical care. Moving on to business news, Nigeria's Dangote refinery has delivered its first petrol cargo to the United States, marking a major milestone for the 650,000 barrel per day plant. The shipment, carried by the tanker Gemini Pearl and purchased by global trader PETROL, was discharged at Sunoco's London facility in New York Harbor. 2 more consignments are expected later this month, with deliveries involving Glencore and Shell. The development highlights the refinery's growing role in reshaping global energy flows, though industry sources say petrol exports could slow in the coming months due to planned repairs on its production units. Meanwhile, the International Energy Agency has warned that $540 billion in yearly upstream investment is needed to maintain global oil supply, as reserves deplete faster than demand eases. At the African Petroleum Producers Organization Forum, NNPC GCEO Bayo Ojulari reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to regional energy security and transition. He highlighted key infrastructure projects such as the Jakarta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline and the Nigerian-Morocco gas pipeline, stressing that Africa must take ownership of its resources while leveraging improved governance and collaboration to secure its energy future. And lastly, in sport, Arsenal's Championships League campaign got off to a winning start on Tuesday night as substitutes Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro TROSSARD inspired a 2-0 victory over Athletic Club in Spain. The Gunners' big money attack, featuring summer arrivals Victor Gyökeres, Eberechi Eze and Noni Madueke, initially struggled to find a breakthrough, but 2 players linked with exit proved decisive. Just 30 seconds after coming on, Martinelli made a blistering 40-yard run before calmly slotting past the goalkeeper to open the scoring. The Brazilian, who has been tipped for a move away from the Emirates, then turned provider 3 minutes from time, setting up TROSSARD to seal the results for Mikel Arteta's side in a tough away fixture. The win came a month after Arsenal eased past the Basque side 2-0 in a pre-season friendly, but Tuesday's clash was a far sterner test. With the victory, the North Londoners secured 3 crucial points in their Championships League phase opener, while Martinelli and TROSSARD sent a timely reminder of their quality to the manager. And that's all we have for you on Idea TV Midday News. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. Dangote Refinery exports first petrol cargo to the United States. We brought you news that Zambia launches nationwide campaign to tackle digital fraud. We also brought you news that Airpeace creates 1,000 jobs for graduates following FG levy suspension. And away from Africa, Ben and Jerry's co-founder resigns amid row over social activism. In health, NCDC raises alarm over rising Lassa fever deaths. And in business, Dangote Refinery exports first petrol cargo to the United States. And lastly, in sport, Martinelli and TROSSARD lift Arsenal to Champions League win. Do not forget to follow us across our social media platforms at Idea Television. I am Cynthia Bassi. Thank you for watching.